Hey doodads and doodads, it's Patrick from 8-Bit Doodads. We're going to be doing another quick look video. This one is about the Uthernet2 card for the Apple II series of computers.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 8-Bit Doodads time!
The Uthernet 2 adds an Ethernet port to your Apple II computer, and that's the basics of this card is provided by this one chip, which is a WizNet Ethernet controller, and this provides 10 megabit. I think it'll actually do 100 megabit Ethernet capabilities to your computer. Now, obviously, the Apple II can't move information that quickly, but it does give you the full range of TCP/IP services for software that has drivers that can talk to this card. And in fact, one of the reason I first got this card is I was looking at certain software when I got back into using Apple IIs, and came across something I wanted to look at, which is A2OSX, which I've done some, there's some videos on our channel you can watch that talk about A2OSX, and I found that it had a Uthernet 2 driver, and I got excited. I wanted to see what getting on the net would be like from an Apple II. But there's more than that. People have written drivers and modified software to use this card, and in fact, there's a whole C compiler chain, IP65 and CC65 tools that will talk to this card, have libraries associated with it, and people have written different software that takes advantage of this, including there's a Apple II Pro software transfer utility that will use this card, which allows you to move copy file disk images from an external server down onto the card. And usually people were using serial ports or other slower means, and this speeds that up. A2OSX also has drivers for the card that can use Telnet, provide a web server, provide limited browsing or what have you, but it has a lot of utilities that will, using the drivers it has built in, allow you to use the internet directly from an Apple II, and I've used it many times to telnet into my Linux servers. There's also a complete driver and software stack for this for the Apple II GS, and somebody's come up with a called Marionette that allow you to both do FTP transfers. There's some limited browsing. One of the reasons browsing is always going to be limited is while the speed of the card can take advantage of Ethernet, there's not enough horsepower in an Apple II to do encryption. So HTTPS and all of that is out. You just can't do the processing for the certificates, and the encryption goes back and forth on that. But for moving files around and for telnetting and those kind of applications, it's perfectly fine. And in fact, someone else has written an email client that runs on the PC that talks to POP email services. So there's a lot of uses for this card. I'm going to do more of a review in a later video and show it operating in both an Apple II and an Apple II GS. So please stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please click that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so you'll get notified of future videos. Look forward to us posting regularly on Wednesdays at 5 and Saturdays at noon. Usually the Wednesday videos will be short form, and the ones on Saturdays will be more long form content. You can also visit us on 8bitdoodads.com or look for us on Facebook.